All right, everybody. Welcome to the Championship Off-Road Racing Series 2025 season. If you're joining us online, we're getting ready to get things started right now. We're going to move our first class, the 170s, over to the finish line straight away, and we are going to do the national anthem. So if you're out there, get ready because we're going to play the greatest song, the greatest country in the world. Once the kids get up here and get out front. 2025 promises to be a great year, a very short year as we're going to do the school season. We got 4 races in 2025, and our 2026 season shall start in October. So very excited to do the change out here. Shane is out front, and we're getting ready. Let's do this, everybody. If you'd please rise and join me with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, if you're out there and you're just joining us on the live track streaming, we got things getting ready to get started with the 170s, and we'll introduce you to the 170s right after this. Sit tight. I do. All right, I walked over here. My microphone was still on. Mia Chapman's going to be on top of me all day for this. Well, Mia Chapman, let's meet our first race. It's the 170 Limited Expert and the Limited Intermediate. And on row number 1 in the first pole position, Ryder Forrester in the number 695, 213 Blaine Proctor, the 152 of Luke Vale, 831 Hudson Doyle, the number 11 of Jackson Cotter, and Brooks Hopkins. And let's meet the Limited Intermediates.
Road number 1, we have the 98 of Murphy McKay. Right next to them, the 2014 of Cooper Hoganus. And rounding out that road, the 8415 of Carter Hoganus and the 302 of Carly Warapius.
Man, we got these words down packed. It's now into our second season here at Core. And these names, Hoganus was our first challenging name, but I think we got it down pat. Warapius, another one. But I think Warapius was the first one that we got down. And the Howdigy name coming up doesn't even look like it says Howdigy. But we'll get it straight. Love the new track here. Kelvin and the boys did a great job here into turn 3, our big change here. So Mia Chapman, let's talk about it. Turn 3, how do you think that's going to shape up in the other classes or any of the classes here? Turn 3, it's a little wider now, a little faster with the kicker coming in. What do you see there?
Definitely, yeah, quite a bit different than last year. I think it adds a little bit more of a technicality to the track, and I think the goal was to try to get the racers to slow down. And none of these racers out here are going to slow down for it, so it's really just finding how far you can really push it. And we've seen it out here in qualifying. Everybody's cars handle so differently, so I think it'll definitely be a big factor coming into these races, and yeah, we'll just have to see how it shapes out.
Well, it's definitely a neat change to the course. We got the kicker back. The kicker has been here pretty much since back in the Lucas days when we first started here. And turn 3, I don't think has been pushed this far into the infield. So I really like that it carry a lot of speed coming off the ski jump, and really having to set the car up right for the kicker. And I do believe that turn 3 is going to be a definite game changer. And then to further accentuate turn 3 and the way that they got to do it right, there's a kicker coming out of turn 3. So if you do have a good entrance into turn 3 and come out of it, you got to get prepared for that kicker here at the end of it as well.
Definitely, yeah. It is a bit of an aggressive one too, so quite a few changes to this track, but definitely some interesting factors.
Another one that we haven't talked about is turn 5. Turn 5 has a very sharp input. You got to get into it, and the cars are basically whipping it around into turn 5. I don't know if I haven't heard anybody talk about it, but and I'm not trying to manifest it's happening, but I mean, I bet we're going to hear about turn 5 as well, and I do believe that's going to be another game changer. Well, Mia Chapman, I can hear the cars spooling up. They're coming down the front straightaway. If you're joining us live stream, we got the green flag. So if you are joining us here on the live stream, you're watching right now, these are the 170 cars. Instead of doing the short course, they're going to do just limited laps on the entire course. So I think that's a great idea. Let them run the same course as the big guys and girls. So now, if you are watching the live stream, I do want to tell you out there that the classes just get faster as the day goes on. However, racing still, even though the speeds here in the 170 are not as fast as some of the turbos or the naturally aspirated cars, competition is still fierce. Mia Chapman, another one new for this race that I think has been an addition that we needed to do way earlier in last year is we got the spotters right in front of us again. Now, a lot of the spotters have been up here before because that way they have direct communication with Casey Kane, our race director. But now having all the spotters up here centrally located, they can talk to each other, or they can ask what they're doing or what's going on, or things. There's a lot of things that the dynamics change here with having the spotters here right in front of us. So I do want to tell you, if you guys are out there watching the race live, I am going to be on the YouTube portion, the YouTube channel of our live track stream. As you can see, our 170s here now. I'm going to get the live feed here, and if you guys have any questions out there that you'd love to see some answers, if I can answer it or if I can get you the answer, if you go to their YouTube, that's Core Racing, that's COR Racing on the YouTube. That's the one where I'm going to be. So if you have any questions, you can get them on the YouTube. I'm actually watching it right now. So if anybody else or wants to check in If you just want to check in and let me know out there where you are watching and tuning in, I'll give you a shout out. So let me know where you're watching. I mean, last race we had somebody all the way from New York City. Could you imagine what time it was in New York to be watching off-road racing here in Arizona? So let's see if we can beat New York. I want to get a worldwide one. Where would you think? Where would it impress you if you saw somebody check in? Germany, Australia. But anyhow, once again, if you guys want to chat it up, live chat. COR Racing. That's Core Racing. Everybody says, no, you didn't do it right. I did. COR Racing. This is how we have it on most of our sites. The only ones that we have it different on is the Facebook one. We actually have it fully spelt out, Championship Off-Road Racing. And you can check it out on Facebook as well and Instagram. Instagram, though, unfortunately, only lets us stream for about 30 minutes. So we recommend, even though it is being transmitted on Instagram, Rumble, and YouTube, the best one out. All right. Trying to get the screen up here so we know who's out front. If not, we're going right back to old school, number 695, Ryder Forrest, our number one qualifier, probably out front. No. Mia Chapman said no, Mark. Right off the bat.
It's hard to see the numbers. I know Ryder's in second.
Okay, so Ryder did get back into second place, so probably going to be Blaine Proctor in the 213 car or Luke Vale. Both of those riders have the skill to get it done, so we'll see as they come around here at the finish line. I was trying to situate everything over here to watch the live track feed and try to tell everybody once again, if you guys want to get some questions, there we go. Here from Idaho, my son Grayson Gentry is racing next. That's Deanna Gentry. Is it Gentry? Like with a J, Gentry? But I would imagine. So Deanna, welcome aboard. Glad you chimed in there from Idaho so far. You ever been to Idaho? I have too. Beautiful place. Way greener than here. It's like it's the moisture content is just great up there. But all right, back to racing. The cars came through, and I didn't see it. I do believe Luke Vale, the number 152 car. And the Hodgeness boys, I can see them out there. Hoganess. Dang it, I said it wrong again. Right off the bat. I hope they didn't notice that. The Hoganess boys. I'm sure they're going to be up here for interviews, too. By the way, if you are out there listening and you are a driver, a rider, or anything up, come up and talk to us. We'd love to hear what's going on for your race season for 2025 and how you're going to deal with the four race series. We'll call it the Winter Series, and then we'll take the summer break, and the 2026 series will start in October. So I'm very excited about that change. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think it'll be good for the racers all around. You know, it does get pretty hot here in Arizona, you know, kind of during the summer, so it'll be nice to have that little bit of a break, and the kids will be in school. So I totally understand, you know, doing the split season. So, yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing, but we'll see how it goes this year and get some feedback and see what everybody thinks.
I definitely think it's a good move because, as you pointed out, being in Arizona, nobody really, even the desert racing out here, they try not to have it at the exact peak of the hottest moments. But, you know, off-road racing, it's hot, it's dirty, it's muddy, it's a lot of things. But I do believe that this is going to be better for the competitors and the teams to have the hotter summer months off and really prepare as we get into the cooler days. Now, the end of the year here in Arizona, it's still pretty hot. I mean, 78, 80, 85 degrees here. It still feels like it's just cooking you down here because we don't have the humidity that the other states have. So, you know, you're 85 degrees in California with a 52% humidity. That's a great day. But out here in Arizona, 85 degrees might as well just be peeling the paint off you. All right. Back to racing. They come around the front straight. Is it Luke Vale still out front? It is the 152 of Luke Vale. The 695 of Ryder Forrester running 1 and 2 on the track. With the number 213 of Blaine Proctor, your top three. The Hoganess coming through. That's the 8415 of Carter Hoganess. Oh, had it wrong. That's Carter. And that'd be the 2014 Cooper Hoganess. And more than likely, he is leading the charge of the limited intermediate class. Number 302 coming through. That is Carly Warapius. Great racing action going into turn 3 right here. Great to see these 170s limited horsepower kicking up roost there in turn 3. I do like having the spotters up here now. We can see a lot of the race strategies here. The spotter of Ryder Forrester being very vocal right now. And that's kind of sometimes you got to drive your driver like that. How you and your dad communicate pretty well, or is your dad always your spotter?
Yeah, I think we communicate pretty well. He was mainly my spotter growing up, and then, yeah, I had a couple different ones just, as I got into that teenage age where, you don't want to listen to your parents on the mic. So, but he's always been a really calm one, and you can see throughout the different spotters and how they spot for their kid out there. A lot of different strategies come into play. Some need to be really vocal, and some are, more calm and collected. So, yeah, it's interesting because we get to hear all of the ruckus coming from the spotters over here.
Yeah, it's pretty good to see the different styles. You'll see some that just don't want to say anything unless they're pulling up next to you, or some that want to be told the whole time. It's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic with racing, that's for sure. But right now the battle is continuing between Ryder Forrester and the road 52 of Luke Vale. They come here, they got one last straightaway to negotiate. I don't think Luke Vale, barring no mistakes, is going to hand it over to Ryder Forrester. But here they are, the drag race is on. Checkered flag flies, our first race of the 2025 season. Luke Vale, your first winner, and Ryder Forrester in second place unofficially. And I do believe that's going to be the number 213, rounding off your top three of Blaine Proctor. But now the race coming into limited intermediate, I do believe it is going to be the 2014 of Cooper Hoganess. That one I got down perfect, and that's the one I'm messing up the most. And the number 11 car, Jackson Connor, and the 831 now coming through. And car 98, Murphy McKay. So 1 and 3 finish for the Hoganess brothers. And Murphy McKay in their round second place there in the number 98 for the limited intermediates. We'll talk with these drivers in a moment. Stick around. All right. The first race is in the history books. What do you guys think about that? The 2025 season with the start at a great run here for the 170 experts. Luke Vale on top of his car. He's already getting it done. The first race. Oh, he missed it. Got to be fast. All right, let's get this going. We got a busy schedule today. Come on, Luke Vale, Ryder Forrester, and Blaine Proctor. Let's get you up on the podium. Good morning. How are you?
Tired already.
All right. Just started.
Tell me about that. Good job, Luke.
I love what he said here. Where are we at? Oh. All right. Well, Blaine, 2025 season getting started here, and you got onto the podium. That's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah.
So what's new for 2025?
We're planning to a little bit into the year. We're planning to sell both of my cars and go to RS1.
Well, it's definitely looking pretty good. A good, solid race right there, and hopefully on the next round you got it.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody you want to say thank you to?
I want to thank Jackson Withrow for spotting me, my dad for building my car, helping to fix my car after practice yesterday, Jimmy for helping fixing my car, Tyler for helping fixing my car, and Withrow Construction, Chloe Ahern and Kyler Mendoza. My family for coming out and watching me race. And yeah, that's everyone.
All right, 2025 on its way. That's Blaine Proctor, third place. But Ryder Forrester. I mean, it was a race. I was listening to your spotter up here. They were really getting in your ear there. What was that like for you out there?
I don't know.
You're just like, let me ask you that. Do you like a chatty spotter like that, or you like it more calm? What do you like?
Chatty.
You like chatty. All right, great job. Second place, so that's a great way to start the season.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what people you want to say thank you to.
My mom, my dad, 2X Motorsports, Southwest Graphics, Economy Plumbing, Low T Clinic, UPR, all my friends. That's it.
All right, that's a great race right there. Well, let's go to this man. He said it's great to be on the podium 2025 with a win. Luke Vale, that's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it does. It feels really good.
All right, what was the secret today? Come out here because I'm sure the jitters of getting the first race underneath and done out of the way. What did you do different here for this race?
I mean, our car was really slow all last season, and so this season, I think Jimmy a lot because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be standing up here.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Big word.
Yeah, and yeah.
All right, well, great. Let's hear who else you want to say thank you to on that list.
I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, God for keeping me safe and all the drivers, and Tyler with Jimmy. Hey, the Withrows. My aunt and uncle Scott and Susu and everybody that comes out. Thank you so much.
Well, I've never heard that nickname for him. There it is. Luke Vale, you winner. And I'm getting out of the way. Make sure you guys get that picture up. Great job. Great job. All right. Let's get the 170 intermediates up here. Carter Hoganess, Murphy McKay, and Cooper on top. Come on, fellas. Talk nonsense. All right, Carter, get up here. He's acting injured now because he got a little butt kick, but that's all right. Hey, what a great way to start 2025. You come out swinging, and then you're on the podium.
Yeah.
So how was it like out there?
Different. If the track wasn't changed, I would have been top on the box.
All right, that's all right, but you know, everybody had to run the same course.
Yeah. I really don't like the new track.
You'll get used to it,
Yeah.
but I'm sure you'll be vocal about it no matter what.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Let's hear about the people you want to say thank you to.
I want to say thank you to Randy very much for working on my car, and 2X, Pink Pineapple, Rugged Radio, H&H Transport, 518 Designs, Core, Vent Racing, AZ Customs, and I can't know how to, the race fuel, I can't know how to say it. I really don't know. No. Cooper.
Well, we'll get it from him. He'll get the rest of it.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, Carter Hogan, this everybody. Let's keep moving along. You got to be a great race right there for you. Sandwiched in between these two brothers, and you had to be the one that kind of broke them up.
Yes.
What was the race like for you? You just business as usual, did some good stuff out there, and just got it done. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right, what's in store for the 2025 season out of you?
Probably keep getting second place or first.
Why would you say that? I bet you can get on the top of this box. You have the speed out there.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think of the new track?
I love it.
All right, very good. Let's hear that long list of people you want to say thank you to.
My mom, my dad, my uncle, my aunt, my cousins, Servworks Plumbing, 2X. That's it that I know.
All right, well, we'll hopefully get you back up here tomorrow. Murphy McKay, everybody. And this young man right here, Cooper Hogan, is starting off 2025 season on top with a win. How does that feel?
Just felt good. I had to keep my lines, and my dad was telling me to get around Brooks, Hudson, and Jason.
Well, you definitely had the fast line out there on the track. You found the short way around is what we normally say it. And that's got to feel pretty good because you get it done like this. That's good style.
Yeah.
All right, let's get that long list of people you want to say thank you to.
2X Motorsports, the Madman, the Mad Scientist Randy, H&H Transport, Race Fuels, 518 Designs, AZ Customs, Vent Racing, All 911 Dispatch, and Core for putting on this event.
That is the way to get it done. Cooper Hogan is. Great job. Big round of applause for these kids. The first race of 2025. Man, Mia Chapman, we got more racing coming up next. All right, if you're out there in the live stream right now, we got more racing coming up. Great drone coverage. Tyler and Brian down here at the other end of the track. They said he can't hear me today. But Mia Chapman, who do we have coming up next?
We have the 170 limited beginner class coming up next.
Well, there it is, Mia Chapman, round one in the history books of 2025. Tons of races coming up. You know, I'm getting fit. I can tell I'm fit walking up those stairs, but I still got to take a quick little breath. All right, the 170 limited beginner. We've got 16 cars in this. Well, let's meet them. 56, Stetson Wyman. At row one, Grayson Gentry. Deanna is there racing. She said, Deanna is in Idaho. She said she's on watching the race. Kason Stowell in the 194 in row two. Mason Atterbury also in row two in the 696 car. The 100 of Riley Atterbury will start the next row. Elliott Brook in the number 16. The 302 of Brandon Lucas and the 22 of Creighton O'Connor.
Row number 5, we have the 101 of Mason Dolgerian. Right next to them, the 747 of Zeppelin Ledbetter. Row number 6, the 823 of Rayleigh Lucas. And starting 12th, the 102 of Wyatt Dolgerian. Row number 7, the 73 of Madden McCormick. And the 44 of Steele Hopkins. And rounding out our last row, we have the 727 of Britlin Hoganus. And the 222 of Carter Cadwell.
So Britlin Hoganus, that's a new name that I at least if we had written up here, I can't remember. But all right, the Hoganus expanding their reaches here into the 170 limited beginner. That would explain probably why we have a little pause in the action right now, because Britain's probably going to be running one of the cars. But, man, what a packed field. 16 cars out here. And, you know, the 170s, we talk about it being all about the driver. This is definitely a driver's class, a lot of momentum. You can hear the Hoganus, Carter Hoganus was saying he doesn't really like the new track. But, you know, everybody's dealing with the new track.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody's adapting and adjusting to the new track. And I think it's pretty cool. And I think they'll grow to like it, you know, the farther we get into the season. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes. But Stetson Wyman, a strong contender in this class last season. So it'll be interesting to see how he does here soon.
Stetson Wyman definitely on fire here for the start of the 2025 season, qualifying P1. And with a great run there. And all the top 5 cars there within about 5 seconds of each other. And that promises to still be a great race. As long as we were talking about, momentum is kept up. I think the only problem we're going to have here is in turn 5. And I don't say turn 5 is a problem, because again, every single racer and driver has to deal with that. As you see, a lot of the cars here, they have to whip leaving turn 5 as they set the car up, and then they have to abruptly turn to get out of it. I don't know how that's going to shape for the weekend, because from this vantage point, I see a much smoother line if we just get rid of the whip. But I'm wondering if that's Kelvin just, you know, being the master that he is, wanting a technical section of the track. It's hard to see how wide it is from up here as well. So I think I started with turn 3 being my game changer, but I am now switched it completely to turn 5. Turn 5 definitely the game changer here for today. All right. Well, the live track feed on YouTube looks to be about, I'd probably say, a few minutes behind, because I'm looking down at it now, unless I have to refresh this, which I probably should do. Oh, there we go. Yeah. There it is, more close to being live right there. There it is. But if you are watching on the YouTube channel, once again, if you're out there watching any live stream on any of the other platforms, such as Rumble or Facebook or any one of them, I'm going to be on the YouTube channel here. So any questions there, type across there, and I'll try my best to answer them. Deanna Gentry, she is from Idaho, and Grayson Gentry on the lead row here on the second of P2. Man, seeing 16 cars out there makes this track look awfully short. Well, who's it going to be against Stetson Wyman? Repeat his season from last year. There they go, green flag. I don't know what's going on. Looked to me like that was a, yeah, I'm hearing calling for it. All right, racing actions, they pour into turn 2 and then come over the ski jump. A little different format here, letting the cars ride on the big track for a little less laps. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing yet, but one great thing about it is now the smaller cars get to see the national track.
Definitely, yeah. It gives them a little bit more experience than what they had last year, and a little bit more action with, some of the new track changes. So, yeah, we'll see how they do and kind of how that separates them as well. Definitely going to be a hard one if you fall behind here to catch back up, but so far, so smooth out there.
Definitely a different run in seeing the smaller cars on the larger track. They have to actually probably change the car setup just a little bit. Instead of like a dash and run car, you got to build a car for longevity, I think, is the key here. Because even though they may race for the same amount of time, there's a lot more terrain being fed to the car. So I would think that you would put a little more longevity into the car, but it's hard to say because even though we had a shorter course, they still adjusted the laps accordingly, so that way about the same run time would be for each class. So excited to see that. A name out there that was pretty cool that was just brought up to me is the McCormick, Madden McCormick. Now, if you remember, we were talking about Paul O'Brien. We brought up Corey Weller, and I understand Corey's going to be here, but she's not racing. The car is here. So I wish somebody could talk to Corey or talk Corey into racing, because with Paul O'Brien here, I'd really love to see that matchup right now. So, but the matchup is going to be between Paul O'Brien and the old man, Scott Webster. And Scott Webster looking great heading off the 2024 season. But Madison McCormick from the 12 West crew and Brian McCormick out there on the course right now, that number 73 card. It's great to see the McCormicks. I think he has 4 or 5 kids. So now they're all old enough, and they've got a broad racing program going on for them at the McCormick at the 12 West. So that's going to be exciting for the weekend. Strong pedigree there, the McCormick family. But all right, back to racing. Mark Cassidy chiming in over there, says, great quality watching from Luke Air Force Base. So loving all our troops out here at Core Racing. Definitely love to recognize our troops abroad and local. This great country, and it makes me proud to be an American and proud to be part of Core Racing. Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, Mia Chapman, now that we got our streaming feed up, we can see our overlay right there if you're joining us on the YouTube channel. We now can call it as you see it. We can see what you see. And Deanna, you got to be pretty happy right now. Grayson Gentry out front, the number 208, according to our overlay. But Stetson Wyman not going anywhere. You can see right there with that shot the distance between 1 and 2 as they come off the tarmac. Great shot there for our aerial work. Tyler with the big drone when you see the overall like this. And then Brian right there coming in the backside of the back straightaway there. And you can actually see right into Stetson Wyman's rear window. Have you ever flown a drone? You ever flown anything RC? It's pretty hard. It's hard to do that. So watching this now granted, these drone pilots now, they can fly these things at top speed through the smallest hole. It's crazy to see how forward-looking like that from their goggles can be translated. But you can see there the drone work. When we go to the big drone and you can see the shadows, this tells you how close they have to be to get the shots. that we are getting these days, totally revolutionizing the way we view and film motorsports. Well, Grayson Gentry out front. With a great lead over the 56 car of Stetson Wyman. The 194 is their drag racing down the back straightaway. Case and Stowell back in to second place. They're battling. They haven't figured it out yet. Turn 2. It's going to be the Stowell car coming into turn 3. Prime example of what we were talking about here with the technical side of this track. Some drivers are going to like some of the track. Some other drivers are going to excel in a little different parts of this track. So I bet we got riders like we found out with Carter Hogan that love the track and some that are really struggling on this track right now.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, quite a big change for, the youth racers out here. They got used to having a shorter track, a faster track, and now there's a wide open track with a few little changes here and there. But definitely for them, quite a big change. So I think I'm pretty confident they'll get to figure it out and, get used to it and get faster with it. But yeah, it definitely just takes time to learn, and, we can see that out here today.
Well, all right. We got a lot of people chiming in here on the YouTube live chats. That's my baby, Val, very proud mom right now. Deanna Gentry says, very proud because Grayson out front of this strong field of 16 drivers. But coming out of the battle of Kaysen Stowell and Stetson Wyman, Kaysen out front for now as they go down the back straightaway with just at least 2 more laps to go. So Mia Chapman, race strategy here. You're Grayson Gentry, you got a strong lead. What do you do at this point? Do you settle in and just keep the pace, or do you hammer down and keep the car just going as fast as it can? What would you think there is the logic?
Yeah, I mean, with the 170s, they don't have a lot of wiggle room for mistakes or to slow down much. So I think if you can keep it solid and run a smooth race like we see Grayson doing out here today, you'll find yourself in a good place.
Yeah, I do believe that's key. And lap drivers now coming into the picture. And that really plays a key role into it as well, is where the lap drivers, car number 44 coming by the finish line, Steele Hopkins, and that car doesn't sound very healthy. And there's the number 73 of Madden McCormick we were talking about. And now the 208 car of Grayson Gentry having to deal with some lap drivers, but in between Case and Stowell and Stetson Wyman, that can still be a change-up story. Still 2 more laps to go. They'll get the white flag. The leaders will get the white flag this time around. And there's a great shot now, Mia Chapman, of the leader coming into turn 3. That's a long straightaway going into turn 3. The longest we've ever had. Great tight racing there with mid-pack. But now the number 208 having to contend with lap traffic. Bumps Madden McCormick going into turn 5 there. And that was turn 5 that I was telling you about, how they have to really choose the correct line there through turn 5. So Grayson Gentry doing a great job proving that that car has got the speed down the front straightaway. making short work of the lap drivers. Now the rest of the field of the top three will feed through those lap drivers. Matt McCormick did a great job holding the line. But now Stetson Wyman has taken advantage, and Stetson Wyman finds himself back in second place. So last lap right here. Can Kaysen Stowell get back into that second place? Or is Kaysen going to have to settle for third? Just a few more turns to negotiate. But Kaysen Stowell not giving up easy here on the final lap. You can see the top three right there. They've bridged the gap. At 2:08, just a couple more turns. Great entry to the tarmac right here, and we know how hard that tarmac is. While Mia Chapman race number 2, the 170 Limited Experts, your winner, Grayson Gentry. And Deanna's out there, right out there in Idaho. That's my baby. Very proud mom right now. Congratulations to the whole Gentry family. And loving to see you guys and your interaction here on the YouTube channel. Keep the comments coming. I'm going to run down and get the interview, so stick around. Mia Chapman, pretty exciting race.
Yeah, definitely a good one. You know, when you look at the field of 16 cars, you kind of already know it's going to be a good and interesting race, and everybody kept it pretty smooth out there. A little bit of bumping, but, you know, that's racing. So, yeah, awesome to see these guys get on top of the box. Grayson, definitely a fast kid out here, proved that today. Stetson Wyman right behind him, another really strong racer in this class. So, yeah, definitely enjoyed it.
Well, what a great race between second and third place out there, Stetson and Kaysen. That was the one to watch. As you said, lots of bumping, and I really enjoy when there's bumping like that isn't taking so much from the line that you had, or you know, obviously damaging the car. In short course racing, there can be a lot of carnage out here, even with the bigger, really fast racers that know how to put a car 2 inches from another car. I do believe some of the bumping is intentional, you know, like kind of if you got to take the place.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's part of off-road racing. We'll see it in every single class today. I think as long as it's not too aggressive, you know, taking anybody out, it's fair game. You know, that's how it was for me growing up in racing. So,
For sure.
yeah, it makes it for a fun time out there for sure.
Remember Riley Pierce? Remember her? And she ended up on her lid a few times, and I ended up calling her the Turtle. She hated that name. She absolutely hated that name. But the problem is, if you end up on your lid like that many times, and we have the, you know, the nickname for it of being a turtle, I gave it to her. I called her Riley the Turtle Pierce. So, all right. Well, let's talk with the leaders right after this. All right, this is an example where I tell you guys I am the announcer, but I am not the official. So if you are watching out there, Deanna, if you are watching, there was a penalty assessed, and the penalty was given. So that is putting the number 56 car of Stetson Wyman out front with Kason Stowell, and with a 2-car penalty, Grayson Gentry having to settle for third. Right? Is that what I just told? Right? Or do we 1, 2, 3? Or is that right?
I don't know. They were supposed to give you results.
I didn't get him. So, right. So am I right or wrong? All right. But that's why I say this is where I have to say I'm the unofficial. I'm the unofficial official. All right. How did we figure it out? They're in order. All right. So I had it right. Yep. All right. Stetson, you're up top. Kason. And then Grayson. Where's Grayson? Grayson here. Oh, do we switch 2 and 3 around again? Oh, okay. All right. Let's get back to normal. All right. All right, there. Great race out there. Your mom, Deanna's out there in Idaho watching, but assess the penalty for jumping the gate. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. That's all right. That's some growing pains. We got another day tomorrow, though, and you can come out here and repeat the win tomorrow. Is that right?
Yes.
Pretty unhappy about that assessment. All right, very good. Well, let's talk about the people that make your race program happen.
My dad, Jacqueline, all my family, everybody that made me get this race going.
All right. Hey, I want to tell you, you're being watched live. Your mom's out there in Idaho. You want to say hi to your mom?
Hi, Mom.
All right, there it is. We were talking with her on the live track feed. All right, Grayson Gentry, everybody, let's keep going. Well, Kason Stowell, you guys actually had a battle going on back there in second and third, and that was very exciting to announce. You guys are swapping it back and forth. What did you do to finally get it out on top and make it stick?
Pin it.
Just pin it. Just keep it pinned. I think that's a smart way to race it. Now, when you're battling it there and you are moving the car, making sure you're choosing your line, which lines do you choose, fat and happy or tight? Probably hard to say. I would say tight because you looked pretty good and you got it done. All right. Well, a great way to start the season 2025 off. Let's talk about the people that make your race program happen.
My mom, my dad, and 2X.
Just like that. Bam.
Yeah,
All right, congratulations. Who's going to be on top tomorrow?
me.
I just wanted to see if you do it. But all right, Stetson Wyman, you've been solid all season for the 2024 season, and now 2025, you start off with a win.
For the money in the bank for my dad, because he bought Goldie.
Oh, I love that.
For Heart Boys, and my dad and my mom, my sister, and my papa, and Mikey Mike.
Wow, you got it down pat. You guys, you know what you're doing. All right, I went out there to see if I could get the charger for my phone. But I'm gonna have to do it without the charger. All right, the 800 modifieds are coming up here. Round number 1, Olivia Woods in the 583 car. Right next to her, Ryder Forrester, driver from earlier, 695. And Chloe Hum will round off the 800 modifieds. And now let's meet the opens.
In the 800 opens, we have the 66 of Addie Atterbury, and right next to her, the 197 of Kaya Sane.
Kaya Sane, we had out there on the YouTube track feed, Colt Lee. Kaya Sane, yeah. And that's why I love having the live track feed here and the chat that we have, the live chat. So any questions for me or Mia Chapman?
Words are hard today.
Well, at least me or Mia. Mia. Wasn't that a song? Oh, well. But saying me and Mia, that's a challenging mix of words. All right. Green flag for the 800 modified and the 800 open. And it looks like the 800 open with a little bit of a change. So Addie Atterbury and the number 66 and Kaya Sane and 197. So Pam K said Grayson's got it, great driving. And if you did watch that, I'd like to reiterate that Mia Chapman and I, we only call it from our perspective from up here in the booth. We are in no means the core officials, so there could be penalties assessed and there could be some changes. So even though you saw Grayson out front there, unfortunately there had to be a 2-position penalty for jumping the start, which moved Grayson down to 3rd. Tough break. Mia says, I'll hold this one. All right. Well, here we go back to racing. The 800s out on the track right now. And I would think if you're thinking about off-road racing, you're a little older, this is the class for you. Great speed into this. I think this is a great entry for, I would say, a driver anywhere in the realm of about 12 to 15. This is a great class right here for the 800s. What do you think? No comment on that one? Turn it up. They are loud today. I don't know what it is. Where I was going with this, what do you think the great age bracket would be for here for the 800s?
It's kind of hard to say, because kids start so young in the 170 class and they develop so much talent at, a really young age. So I think most of these drivers, though, are between the ages of 12 and 15, probably.
All right. I skipped right over Chloe, and Dan just told Jen, and Jen just texted me, Dan, did I really skip Chloe? I did. You could have come up and talked to me. You could have come up and said, Mark, you missed Chloe. My bad. So Chloe Hearn out here, Dan Hearn from SynFab, Jen just texted me. She says, hey, you missed Chloe. And I did. Come up here. In fact, come up here. See, this is how you get it. That's how you get an interview, is when I screw up like that. So that works out good. So Chloe doing great out here, and you guys out here with Core, what do you think?
Oh, I'm loving it. She's loving this course. Nice and smooth. It's not what she's used to. She's just learning how to get the course is what she's doing right now. So hopefully tomorrow she'll pick it up, and she'll be up there in that, 1, 2, 3, somewhere in there.
So a lot of the local races that we've done with the other racing series, What do you think about this core racing and the short course? Are you guys new to this? Is she new to this?
Yeah, she's really new to this. She's been more into the desert style, real rough course, not this smooth groom track, but she's coming a long way. She's really happy to be here.
All right, let's talk more. This is the way you get airtime. Let's talk about SynFab and what's new for 2025.
We're just plugging away. We got a bunch of new customers. We're starting to get that business back. It was kind of dead last year, but it's all coming back. So we're about 2.5 weeks out now.
I mean, it seems everything's kind of coming back right now, and and everybody's kind of doing this with the administration change and everything. But I don't attribute to that. I think we're finally all getting adjusted out here. The money's coming back, so I think people want to start doing things like going back to racing.
Yeah, I think they're starting to see that their money's coming back. They're starting to spend it where they have fun versus, hey, let's just make sure we have it for next year. So they're getting around.
All right, well, very good. Now, let me ask you this. Desert racing and short course racing, I've had this conversation with this young lady many a time, and I've done a little bit of both. I would tend to think I'm a desert racer, though. Where does Chloe sit here? Does she like this short course racing, or is she still a desert racer?
She's got a lot to learn still. She's going to start doing some go-kart stuff to start learning how to do these drifting turns and so forth. Right now, she's, like, as you can see, she's real hesitant going around that turn 2. But she will get there. After some more short course time, she'll learn it. Versus the desert stuff, you just never know what's around that turn.
Yeah.
But
it's very hard to basically set up in a desert because, as you said, you don't know the terrain. Man, but that's great. It's great to see her out here.
Yeah, she's having a blast. I'm glad to be here.
All right, there it is. Dan Hurd from SynFab. Known that young man for quite a while. Boy, he got Jen on me for missing Chloe's name. Did I really skip over her? Well, that's the first mistake I've ever made in my life, and you guys were here to witness it. All right, back to racing. Olivia Woods. Business as usual for that young lady in the 583 car. Ending off the 2024 season on top, and she's coming out here in race number 1 with the 800 modified. Just doing a repeat.
Yeah, she definitely seems like she's got the hang of it out there and is very comfortable in her car. And yeah, it's nice to see 2 more people join her class now. Last year she was running around by herself in that class, so a little bit more competition now, but it doesn't seem to faze her too much.
I think it's great. I think it's great for racing, and I think it's great for a class to start getting the other racers, because there's a lot of these cars. These are all side-by-sides, but depending on the modifications you've done to it, I've always said it, if you're out there and you're on the fence about racing, come out here and we will put the car in the correct class. Just bring your car out here, as long as it's safe, as long as it's got window nets, 5-point harness, and a fuel cell, and a built cage. Bring it out here. We'll find a class. All right. See, that's how you get an angry parent satisfied. Give him an interview. I'm not saying he was angry, but he knew right who to go to. So Adam Grunder out there, he just texted me, he said, need Kilgore out there, he will smoke him. Oh. He actually called a name out. I'm not going to say it over the internet. But Adam Grunder just being Adam. And if you guys know who I'm talking about, Adam Grunder, definitely very boisterous. Definitely always says what's on his mind. So here we go, the competition yellow, our first class of the day that will have the competition yellow. And Mia, I always try to get this out of you. Competition yellow, good thing or a bad thing?
You know, when I was racing short course and, the other series, we always had a competition yellow, so I'm used to it, and I think it's a good thing, right? It gives the other racers a chance to, group back up with, their class and have another shot at it. Obviously the people in the front don't tend to like it, but if you're fast, you'll kind of run away with it again. But yeah, it makes it tough when you're on this big of a track, and to not have a mandatory yellow if something happens or a mistake, it's really tough to make that time back up. But yeah, very controversial subject here.
I mean, it's been that way in all, even in the big national events, being a desert racer, and we were talking about that with Dan just a second ago, Dan Hearn, and it's such a different discipline to go off-road racing out in the desert, as he brought up, that you really don't know what's around each turn, so you literally are taking it turn by turn and one turn at a time. But in desert racing, there is no competition yellow. You take the green flag and you are as fast as you can go, 200 miles later, 500 miles later, until you get to that checkered flag. And I would think that in my idea of competition, if you've got what it takes to, lead by a big margin, I think that can be very disheartening if now you take the class and you bunch them back up again and something were to happen, like one of the cars slide into you and takes you out. So definitely controversial. However, I also see the side of it where you got somebody that's just checking out, but you got somebody that got caught back into the field, and now they're having a hard time getting through the field because of the slower cars, and that they can race on the pace of the leader. So it's kind of it's one way or the other. And I was hoping I would get you where the competition yellow. I mean, we do it, so.
I think it makes short course racing, honestly.
Yeah,
it allows for a lot more action. The drivers up front, again, may not like it, but, this is short course racing. It's tough, and, you got to hang out there. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm a fan of it, but.
Yeah. Well, now with that being said, and we've explained it now to the people that are watching or tuning in, or you're sitting here live, then begins the strategy. What do? Do you go out there the first half and really just set your pace, or do you kick back until the end and race at the end?
Definitely, yeah. I think all around it just makes for a better driver.
Yeah, I agree. So, and that's why we talk about it. And the reason I talk about it the same way each time is, if you're watching or you're new to short course racing, you can see the two drivers just pile through the crowd, the rest of the field there, down the back straightaway, and that's exactly what we were talking about. Get them back out there and let them race. But that strategy is very important. Save the car for the second half. Watch the other drivers' lines there and know that once you get that, the green flag second time around, that's when you really bring out all the stops. Make sure you bring what you got to the table, what you've studied for, what your plan is, and execute it there in the second half. Well, Adam Gruder, great to hear from you. Adam Gruder out there, Big O Tires coming on for the 2025 season. He's out here helping us out. And Adam downsized from 2 stores. He sold the one in Scottsdale, got the one now in Tempe. The last pair of tires I bought was from Adam Gruder. And I went crazy. I bought the big boy BFGs with brand new Baja wheels. And the boys and girls over there at Big O Tires took care of me, and I can't say it, but I'm not just saying that because I work for Core and I know Adam. I'm telling you, great service out there. The tires look great, and I haven't even had them on my truck yet because I ended up wrecking the truck before I was able to put the tires on. So I've got a stack of brand new BFG Mud Train KM3s just sitting, brand new wheels. Glenn Banta is going to be racing this time. Man, Mia Chapman, how do you feel about our boss being out there on the track?
Yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, let the guys go have some fun out there and really get to see the track from a different vantage point. And like you pointed out earlier, he is a racer, so I don't blame him for wanting to get out there.
That's the one thing that's been kind of plaguing me as an announcer. I've been announcing some very big series lately, Core being one of them. Another one that you guys know out there in the desert race, if you know me, I guess it's not a conflict of interest, so I guess I could say it, but I'm also the announcer for Legacy out of Nevada. I'm very proud to be part of that crew as well. But I got to tell you, Parker's coming up, and I really badly want to race. I've got a race car again. I want to race Mia Chapman. I want to race. I want to race Jackson Withrow. You know, it's funny, as you can see, Jackson Withrow, Blaine Proctor, all the boys hanging out there the same way you guys used to all hang out there. Luke Knupp, Connor McMullen, you, Riley Pierce. Your brother was in there when he was so small. I remember your brother was one of the smallest drivers back in the day. But he's nothing small now. All right, we got a car coming back onto the course. I heard Casey Kane saying, whoa, so I didn't know what happened there. All right, I'm going to have to rely on our overlay right here. Olivia Woods out front. So great to see Olivia Woods have some competition out there with Ryder Forrester and Chloe Hearn. White flag flies. And I looked out there at Olivia Woods just racing her own race. All right, Mia Chapman. Here it is. The final turn for Olivia Woods in the 583 car. The checkered flag flies. Your unofficial winner, the 583 of Olivia Woods. And if I'm looking at our overlay correctly, it's ending up the exact way it is on the sheet.
Yeah, nothing too catastrophic happened, during this class, but still some awesome racing. Really cool to see some new drivers enter this class and, get used to it, get their grips, especially with the new track and the track changes. So, yeah, I'm sure they'll be up there in no time, but, yeah, pretty smooth race.
I do believe that this is the entry-level class of the fast class. Like, the 250 modifieds, those are great cars to watch, and, I absolutely love the 250 modifieds. But right here, the 800 modified and the 800 open, this is where you really start to get the speed in. You really learn how the car handles. You'll probably see Chloe here get into turn one right here. But as you heard Dan talking about, learning to set the car up into a turn and under horsepower, allowing the car to rotate around. I think this is the class to do it in, and I think this is an ultimate, we'll call it the fast class beginner class. How about that?
Definitely, yeah. Ryder Forrester, really solid run out there. I believe he is new to this class, so awesome to see him get after it out there. And again, Chloe Hum, very new to short course racing. Really cool to see her come from doing something completely different and now switch over to this. So, yeah, even the 66, Addie Atterbury, really, showed some strong contenders out there and got the hang of it pretty quick. And KSA, and again, another one from last year, shows a lot of promise and a lot of growth. So, yeah, really cool to see.
Man, I have to agree with you. KSA rock solid last year, on the podium quite a bit. And KSA coming into 22.5 with another podium, that's got to feel pretty good for her. So we'll see how she feels. All right, stick around. We'll go talk to the drivers. All right. If we get these drivers up here, we'll talk. Don't go anywhere. I'm ambushing you. How does it feel watching this from the sideline?
Weird.
It does. Now, I was expecting to see you girls out here in the last race.
Yeah.
How does it feel? It's just crazy watching your class out there.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say hi. Jackson Withrow, what do you think about that racing?
That was okay.
It was okay. What would you have changed?
If I had a car.
All right. Let's get the limiters up here on the box. Who are we going with first? I know Olivia Woods is going to be happy because Olivia had some people to race with on this one. So let's get that one up here. Olivia and everybody else, come on. Chloe, I need you up here. Ryder Forrester, come on. All right, Chloe. Short course racing, a new thing to you at the podium. Big smile on your face.
Yeah,
How was it?
it was fun.
So what would you change out there to get a little bit higher on this podium?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm learning. Well, what would you give advice to anybody who has not short course raced yet? What's your initial reaction to that? What would you say?
It's a lot smoother than desert tracks are, and it's easier to drive on.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, there you go. So, all right. Well, this is the part of racing short course where you get to say thanks to your sponsors right off the bat. Who do you want to say thank you to?
Extreme Machine and Fabrication, VP Fuel, Lone Star Racing, Rugged Radios, Off-Road Vixen, Sinfab Racing, Withrow Construction, Flying High, Aim Soil, Jimmy, and then Jackson and Blaine.
They're pretty happy that you got up here.
Yeah.
All right. Great job. Did I skip anybody?
I don't think so.
All right. Make some noise out of Chloe Hearn. One of her first races and her first podium. So let's keep moving right along here. Ryder Forrester, we were thinking about it. Is this your first time in the 800s?
Yeah.
How'd it feel?
Good.
Is it a little different from what you're used to?
Yeah.
All right. What do you have to do different in this class?
Not spin out.
Yeah, that was not make a mistake, but that's all right. But all right, well, you're on the podium again. That's got to feel great. Let's hear that long list once again of people who make it happen for you.
My mom, my dad, 2X Motorsports, Low T Clinic, Southwest Graphics and Wraps, UPR, and all my friends for coming and watching.
All right, Ryder Forrester, second podium of the weekend so far. But Olivia Woods, this one's got to feel good because you had some people out there to race with.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about, how did you do it? I mean, you pretty much extended the lead out there. Were you mashing it down all the way from the start, or were you playing it safe?
I was kind of playing it safe, then I spun out and turned around.
It seems like spinning out on the new course. I mean, the new course was fast. A couple technical areas, but turn 3, that's really fast going into it.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Let's talk about the people that make your race program happen.
My mom, my dad, 2X, XTC, Casatech, Cowper Canyon, Shreddy, Rugged Radios, Go Fast Girls, 518, Friday Racing, and Method, and everybody else.
That is a great interview. Good job, Olivia Woods, your winner. And out front here, but what a great podium that is right there. That's right. Clap your hands. Great way to start off the 2025. All right. Let's get them up here. Addie Atterbury and Kaya Sane. Wow. All right. Oh, just wanted to grab the one. You grab. Go on up there. Big one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, we're being wait. Oh, okay, I was told to wait. You're all right. You can stay here with me. You won't be in it. Uh-oh. We had to do a, what is that called in golf when you do it? Mulligan. We had to do a mulligan. Why couldn't I think about that? You ever play golf? No, me. I'm not very good at it. It's a good thing I'm a motor. All right, now you guys can do it. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Rally. Can't say what a way to start 2025 with a podium.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
Good.
I mean, a lot of changes here for 2025, or you just pretty much come out swinging the same way?
No, we're
Well, we haven't had a lot of changes right now, but we're going to change a lot of things.
For real, man, that looks still a great race out there. And that's a big class to see the 800s, both modified and open out there.
Yeah.
All right, well, very good. Let's talk about the people that make it happen for you.
First, God for keeping me safe, my dad and my mom, Jason Winthrow for giving me a part, or else I would not have been able to race today, Chris DeSosa Diaz, SPS, Lust Plumbing, Signs Unlimited, Glenn Johnson Cooling and Heating, MRT Tires, all my friends and family, and anybody else that helps me out.
All right, do you know a Colt Lee?
Yes.
Colt Lee chimed in on the YouTube live track feed and said, Kaya Sane, yeah.
That's my brother.
Oh, that's your brother. All right, very good. Well, he's watching live on the track feed. All right, very good. We'll see what's happening tomorrow. But right now, this young lady right here, Addie Atterbury, you got a big smile on your face. I love it. The crowd's going crazy on that. Tell us about it, what this race was like from your seat.
It was amazing.
Wow. Well, tell me more.
Well, it's my first race in core.
Okay.
I
guess that's what I'm looking for. Your first race in core and your first podium. Absolutely, that's a big, a big thing to soak in.
Yes.
All right, very good. So what's your plans for tomorrow? Repeat of tomorrow, or are you going to change anything, or are you just come out swinging?
I think we might repeat.
All right. Just whatever happened here, we're gonna do it again tomorrow.
Yep.
All right, very good. Well, let's talk about the people that make your race program happen.
My family, 2X Motorsports, Atterbury Motorsports, and Off-Road Vixens.
Well, that's a great list. Let me get out the way, Rally. Now you got it right. Make some noise for these girls once again. Great to see them. Mia Chapman, we got more racing coming up.
We have our 250 open class coming up next.
All right, Mia Chapman, I got to admit, I'm a little confused. I hear cars going, and did I miss the start? All right, let's see if we can make sense of this. The 250 Open. Brody Klein in the number 18 car, the Y247 of Maggie Flores. Rylan Gone in the number 62. We have another car in here, Murphy McKay, but there are only 3 cars out on the track. So I'm assuming we are missing. Oh, no, yeah, the Gone car is the only one. The Gahan. The Rylan Gahan car, the number 62 is the one we're missing. So right now, just in the order, Brody Klein in the number 18 car out front. And Maggie Flores, the Y247, in second. And Murphy McKay from earlier will round off the top 3 in this field. Now, I can't remember if this is a competition yellow class, but this is an exact example of what we were talking about. So now you got the cars; they're pretty much set in this position. Not a lot of door banging going on right here, but the leader just checking out. And this is what we were talking about with the competition yellow on the second half of the race. Now bunching the field back up again, and then it would force our leader Brody Klein to have to repeat the first half and get this distance between him and second place again, Maggie Flores. So